Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am so I'm just happy. I'm really happy today. And I'll get into that why anyway. So, hello and welcome back to The Lions Den. I'm your host Matt as always, and this recording could be absolute garbage. I do not know. But one thing I want to go over is I'm going to try and shake up the format of this podcast a little bit. The idea is that I'm going to try and collect ideas on a topic, and then talk about that instead. So rather than having to, have things happen in my life, I can just discuss something that I'm interested in or that has happened in recent memory. The main reason why I wanted to do this right now is today has been absolutely freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm not joking. I've got my cake journey story for another day because that is just a general thing that's happened. But I want to kind of go over something that happened literally about 10 minutes ago, and then slide that into my topic for this week. So I'm being very on top of it because I'm off this week. So yeah, woo, let's go. So the Nintendo eShop for the 3DS and the Wii U were recently announced that they're going to be closing in March of 2023, as far as I'm aware. Which is sad, but you can't expect something for systems that have been around for decades now, or a decade and a bit now, to be open forever. So my kind of perspective on it is it was going to happen at some point. It happened for the Wii, so it was going to happen for the 3DS and the Wii U at some point as well. And a lot of stuff has either been ported to the Switch, or there is like the concept that there may be a remake coming for the Switch at some point. So it is a shame because I've watched some videos and I know that there are some things that are exclusive to, for example, the Wii U eShop. And there are a couple of things that I'm personally interested in that are specific to the 3DS eShop. So I have to really hard debate about what I want to do with that. But you've been given a year in advance notice. What more do you want? I'll be honest. So one of the things that I saw is that there are a couple of Nintendo 3DS eShop games that are just exclusive to 3DS. One of them being the Nintendo Badge Arcade, which I'd never heard of until basically this whole thing with the eShop happened. So I thought, oh, why not? I'll screw around with it. I'll download it, see what the whole fuss about is. And it's amazing. It's the best way to describe it is how the game describes it. It's a digital arcade. It's got a bunch of weird, funky slot machine things, the claw grabber style ones, and you get badges, literal digital badges. They even have like a 3D model with a pin in the back and everything. And they're for tons of game series across the 3DS lineup, from your standard Super Mario to your Zelda to your Animal Crossings to your Fire Emblems to your Monster Hunter to the letter sendy thing. I can't remember what it was called, but it was really fun. The whole digital letter thing that you could write letters to your friends and send them, and they'd be all animated and cool. And it had that lady who would teach you how to draw things if you paid money for it. It was wonderful, a wonderful thing. And you can get badges for all of these different series. It's really friggin' cool. But the thing is, digital arcade extends to the fact that in a normal arcade, you're paying to play, right? And you're paying to play here, unfortunately, which is awkward because the problem with the eShop going down is they are no longer accepting debit or credit card payments. The only way you can put money onto your eShop, as far as I'm aware in simple terms, is to buy an eShop gift card and then use that. But obviously you can only buy them in specific incremental funds. I'll get onto why that's an issue in a minute. I think the slight workaround is you can put money onto your Nintendo account on the Switch, because if you did the merger between your Nintendo Network ID and your Nintendo account, all funds are then shared across the three platforms, the 3DS, the Wii U, and the Switch. So you can in theory, up until March 2023, put funds onto your Switch account, which would then be linked to your 3DS account, assuming you did that whole merge thing, which I believe I did, but I haven't tried it because I'm not going to randomly put money onto my account just to see if it comes up on my 3DS. The problem is, the way the slot machine works is you can pay for 5 plays, so 5 chances to nab some badges in whatever of the arcades that they have for that day. But it's 90p. 90p! That's such a stupid number, and I know why it's 90p, because in the American version it's $1. A round number, $1. But to make it fair, they made it 90p in the UK because it's not a one-to-one conversion. That's such a stupid number! If I have to put on a specific value to the eShop, i.e. the minimum you can put on is 10 quid, I will never be able to completely use that 10 quid for this slot machine game. I will be 10p short, and that's annoying because I'm not having 10p sitting on my account. Nothing will ever be 10p. Why? Ugh. And the thing that baffles me is, why is it still this way? This has been around for years now. As far as I'm aware, I think they said that this game, or this little applet thing, has been around for like 2.5 years. Why have they not just given up and said, right, we've probably made stupid amounts of money out of this. We might as well just make it free because we're closing the eShop anyway. You'll get to the point where, I was going to say you'd end up with the point where it soft locks. Because you can't put money onto the system after next March, you won't be able to play. That's not technically true. The game has ways to get free plays, which is what I've been doing so far, because it's just a nice little 5-minute time waster, right? That's what I'm viewing it as. I'm not putting money into it because that would be stupid and insane. I considered it though, I'm not joking. The way you get free plays are, every day when you first log on, it gives you 2 free plays immediately off the bat, which is fine. And then you can earn, I think, up to a maximum of 2 or potentially 3 extra plays in the practice section, which is really clever because the practice section is great for learning how the different crane machines work. That's the other fun thing, there's slightly different variations in how it works. So it's good to practice different ones, so you don't go into one that's got badges that you really want, but you don't know how it functions. The second thing is, depending on how well you do, you can then get extra free plays, which is really good. So for example, today I got 2 extra free plays from the practice, plus my 2 additional free plays from just logging in for the day, and boom! I've got 4 plays, and that's when the fun starts. So I went cycling through all of the different machines, and there was a Star Fox one, and I was like, oh, those look really cool. It had a couple R-Wings, it had a couple banner badges for the games, and then a couple different Fox McCloud poses, and I was like, yes, I want them. So I used my 2 free plays because you have to use those immediately, right at the start, and it didn't go very well. I think I got 1 banner badge, and that was it. So I was like, oh, that's annoying. But I went and did the practice and managed to get 2 out of the practice, which I was like, yes, okay, cool, let's go. And then I don't know how I did it, but the way I then played the Star Fox one again, I got like almost all of the badges in 2 shots. They just started cascading as I was grabbing them. So I'd grab some of them, but then that would knock other ones, making them cascade and fall, and I'd win them. And I was like, holy moly, I've just got 4 in one go. And then I did it again, and I got 3 more in one go. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I ended up almost completing that set in 4 shots, which I was like, this is amazing. And they're really cool badges. They're really nice detailed badges. The problem being that the 3DS is not the highest resolution, so when you do put them on your home screen, it's not great, but it's still cool to look at, and they're still cool, enticing little badges. I mean, when I first got it, I was so enticed to put money into this game by these stupid badges. That's how weirdly addictive and enjoyable it is. So if you've got a 3DS, go download it right now. It's literally free to play, but it will take you a while to like get the, I think there's like thousands of badges because they kept releasing new ones. So there's gonna be a lot to catch up on. But to be honest, I'll just play the machines with the things in it that I want and then just not worry about the rest of them. Or I'll have to, the one thing you have to bear in mind is do not be concerned about completing a set in one day. That's the weird thing, is that the machines refresh with what's in them every day. So you've only got one day to play that list of machines. So if you don't get the badges you want, or if you don't complete a set from it, it's gone till God knows when it decides to recirculate that one back in. Which is why I considered putting money in, because there was one with the KK slider badge and I really wanted it. And then I said, no, do not put money into this game. Don't be stupid. You've done the maths. It's ridiculous with the whole 90p thing. So yeah. I also was advised about the whole concept of downloading game updates for games you don't necessarily have, because there are physical games, right? For example, Mario and Luigi Dream Bros, I think it's called, or Dream Team, something like that. I don't have that game, but there's an update for it, right? So if I ever want that game and I buy it, I don't know, 2-3 years down the line when I have some disposable income, if I don't have that update, who knows what was fixed in it, right? It could be something small or it could be something huge, like a game-breaking bug. So I was advised to download either all of them or all of the ones of games that you think you might want. So that's kind of hard to do, but I mean, there was like some Nintendo Disney fashion boutique. I'm definitely not buying that. So I just downloaded the big obvious ones. And hopefully, if I do end up buying these games somewhere down the line, I've got the update patches on my 3DS ready to go. So that's something I would advise doing as well, because they're small, they don't take up a lot of space, and assuming you don't have like a 10 megabyte SD card in your Switch, in your 3DS, you'll have room for it, so it's fine. Other than that, the big thing for me is I started getting into the Phoenix Wright series. Really bad time to get into them. The problem is, the original trilogy has been remastered like twice now, from the DS to the 3DS, or in fact, I think it started on the Game Boy Advance, then it was on the DS, then it's on the 3DS, which is what I currently own, the original trilogy on the 3DS, and then it's been ported to the Switch. But then there's 4, 5, and 6, right? So there's the Ace Attorney game for Apollo Justice, and then there's 2 more Phoenix Wright games. Apparently, the 2 Phoenix Wright games that are afterwards are exclusive to the 3DS eShop, do not have a physical release, and currently are not planned to be remade or remastered or anything. So, when the eShop goes, they're stuck, either on people's systems or they're just gone forever. So, I have to currently now decide whether I'm going to put 65 quid into buying these games that I may or may not play. I mean, I am currently grinding my way through the second game, because it took me years to finish the first game because I kept picking it up and putting it down and then forgetting where I was in the middle of a case. I'm currently blasting my way through the second one, and actually really enjoying it, although my brain is so confused by the jumps and logic that it does. I either have to take a huge gamble and assume that because they remastered the original 3 on Switch, they will remaster the next 3 on Switch at some point, or I have to bite the bullet and spend £65 total to purchase all of the other games. Yeah. Anyway, otherwise, this has been my rant and my enjoyment of today with the Nintendo 3 shop. I actually have things to talk about now for like at least 2 more weeks, so I'm excited. I hope you're enjoying this new format point. Yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!